Hi students, welcome back to the computer science online classes. So in this session I am going to discuss on remaining questions from the model question paper 1. So the question goes like this: explain the cache memory in detail. So in 1 marks all of you might have gone through what is this cache memory. So cache memory is what? It is a high speed memory which is placed between CPU, so that is the processing unit of our computer, and the main memory. So main memory is what? RAM, and CPU is what? Processing unit of our computer. So between these two things, two components of a computer, the cache memory is placed. So the cache memory is more faster than the RAM. So cache memory is more faster than the RAM. So its access time is much less than when we compare for the main memory. So the accessing time for the cache memory will be always less when we compare with the main memory. So that is, the cache memory having the data can be accessed for processing rather than the memory which is accessed from the RAM. The cache memory can access and process the instruction at the faster rate. Okay. So next point is, the cache memory is an intermediate memory and it is not accessible for the user. So for the user, the cache memory will not be accessed. But what it can do, it can store the instructions and data which are immediately executed. So once after the CPU executes the instruction, all the instructions will be executed immediately and it will be stored in the cache memory, and it is used to decrease the average access reading time which normally stored in the main memory. So when we compare with the main memory, the access time for reading the data which will be decreased by using the cache memory. And also this cache memory will increases the operating speed of the system, but it is much costlier than the main memory. Operating speed will be of course increased because when we compare for the RAM speed, the cache memory speed is what? More. So cache memory speed is more when we compare to this RAM. So only this cache memories are always costlier when we compare to RAM. Okay. So next we are having two types of cache memory. So two types of cache memories are there. So there it is called as L1 cache memory and L2 cache memory. So L1 cache memory and L2 cache memories are the two types of memories. Two types of cache memories. So here, where is this L1 cache memory is present? So L1 cache memory is present within this CPU. So within this CPU, L1 cache memory is present. So next, L2 cache memory will be present on the motherboard. So L2 cache memory will be present on the motherboard. Okay. So these are the key points you have to write for the cache memory. So what is the first point? Cache memory is a high speed memory which is placed between CPU and the main memory. And then this cache memories are faster than the main memory, and it accesses less time when we compare to the main memory. So next, cache memory is an intermediate memory and it will not be accessible for the common user. So user will not have access for the cache memory. So all the instructions and data will be stored immediately after execution by the CPU in this cache memory, and it has reduces the average access time for reading the data and increases the operating speed of the system. But these cache memories are costlier. Okay. So next you are having L1 and L2 as the two types of cache memories. So L1 cache memory is present inside the CPU and L2 cache memory is present on the motherboard. Okay. So this is about cache memory. So explain the cache memory in detail means you have to write all these points and along with this diagram. Okay. So next is Next question, explain the different types of operating system in detail. So operating system means what? It is an intermediate between the computer user and the hardware, right? So in types of operating system, we are having these much. So these types of operating systems are there. So one is single operating system, single user operating system, batch operating system, and then multi-programming operating system, distributed operating system, network operating system, multi-threaded operating system. So in multi-programming operating system, again we are having four types of operating system: multitasking operating system, multi-user operating system, time sharing system, real-time systems. So first one we'll see single user operating system. So single user operating system, as the name itself it indicates, it is having only one user to share the system resources including the CPU. So it will have only one user for all the resources of the computer. This type of OS is used mainly in the PCs, laptops. So where and all these OSs will be used? So personal computers, and in the laptops we are going to use this single user operating system. So it allows the user to execute one program at a time. So one program at a time is executed in the single user operating system. For example, MS-DOS. So this is one type of operating system. So next is batch operating system. So batch operating system means what? It will collect all the related user number of programs in form of batches, and it will be executed one after the other. Okay, so this is done in batch operating system. So the similar type of programs are grouped together in this method, and it will be sent to for the execution. Okay, there is no interaction between the user and the executing program. So here there is no interaction will be there between the user and between the executing programs. So this is what the batch processing system will look like. So here you can see all the related data, related group of jobs will be grouped together, and it will be sent along with the batches. So it will be batch 1, batch 2, like that. So those batches will be sent for the CPU for processing the instructions. Okay. So next is multi-programming operating system. So in multi-programming operating system, we will be discussing on first one. So that is called as multitasking operating system. So multitask means what? Performing more than one job at a time. So if you are performing more than one program or more than one task at a time is called as multitasking operating system. So what here we are going to do is, it gives you the perception of two or more tasks is running at a time. It does this by dividing the system resources amongst these tasks. For example, if you are having two types of tasks, but for a general normal user, two types of task is also done at the same time. It looks like two types of process or problem is done at the same time, but what it is going actually is, it will divide the task into two or more system resources. For example, T1 and T2. Okay. So next is multi-user operating system. So multi-user operating system means what? It allows the user to use the different computer terminal to access the single system with one OS on it. So that is what? It will be having only one OS, but it will contain two or more users to access the same computer. For example, see here. So you'll be having the one computer terminal, or else terminal means what here? Just a computer. So for accessing of this computer, we can have one user or more than one user. For example, this is the admin, this is the guest 1, this is the guest 2. Username and password while entering the system you might have seen. So these are the multi-user operating system. So multi-user operating system means what? You'll have 2 or more users to access the same resources, same computer terminal. Okay. So next one is time sharing operating system. So what does it mean? Time sharing operating system means what? So here the resources we are allocating for all the processes will be time. Okay. So based on the time, the programs will be interval at a particular duration of the time. So what does it mean is it allows the many user to share the computer resources simultaneously. So that means what? 2 or more computers can share the resources at a time, but how the resources is divided in the sense based on the time slots. So task 1 is given at the task time T1. So task 2 is given at the time T2. So like this, the system will allocate the resources for the particular job to be done. Okay, so this is the time sharing operating system. So next one, real time systems. So what does it mean? Real time system means it refers to a computer and software systems that respond to the events before the events become absolute. So before event become actually to be running, computer will respond for the events. So the primary objective of this real time systems is to provide quick event response time, thus meeting the scheduling deadlines for scheduling the deadlines and all. The main thing is it should be quickly responding for the user so that we can conduct the meetings. Okay, so all these things, all this scheduling meetings, everything, deadline meetings will be done by using real time systems. Okay, so next type of operating system is distributed operating system. So distributed operating system means what? It is a collection of autonomous computer systems capable of communication and cooperation via the software and hardware interactions. So using this software and hardware interactions, we can communicate with the computer by using this distributed operating system. So next is network operating system. So network operating system means what? It is a collection of software and associated protocols that allows a set of autonomous computer which are interconnected by the computer network. So how the computers are linked for one computer to another computer means, so by using computer network. So here also it will have certain set of protocols, and here also it will have collection of softwares. So all this will lead to the autonomous computers. So all these computers are connected by using the computer networks. Okay, so next question. So these are all the types of operating systems. So here you have to know about all these types of operating system. So that is single user operating system. So there it will be having only one user. On that user we are going to work, and all the one and only one user system will have all the resources access. Batch operating system means what? So it will have the batches. So based on the batch, it will collect all the same related kind of programs, and it will allocate as a batch, and it will be sent for the batch wise for CPU for processing. So next one, in multi-programming operating system, we are having 4 types. So one is multitasking. Multitasking means here we will be having more than 2 tasks. Multi-user means what? Here we will be having same terminal will be there, same computer will be there, but you will be having different users. So time sharing means what? Here we will be allocating the programs based on certain times, certain time slots. Real-time operating system means what? Quick response event will be there. So next, distributed operating system. So this is another type of operating system. It will allocate the resources based on the equal distribution. Network operating system means what? So it will follow all the computer protocols along with the network. Computer network will be embedded will be attached for all the computers in this particular environment. Multi-threaded operating system means what? It will have many jobs to be done. All those jobs will be having the different algorithms for performing the operating speeds. Okay, so these are all the different types of operating systems. So next one is, next question. So here it goes for the next question. Write the applications of computers. So applications in the sense where and all the computers are used nowadays. So all these things you have to write. So one is computers in science, hospitals and engineering. So nowadays computers has been used in all the industries, like it will be used in astronomy, it will be used in schools, colleges, everywhere, right? So in science, hospital and engineering, how they are going to use this, supercomputers have numerous applications like weather forecasting, space research. So for performing space researches and for to predict the weathers, we are going to use this supercomputers. And even in the astronomy, to find where the stars is going particular in orbit, whether it is going to reach particular orbits, we are going to use in these computers in the astronomy. And for collecting the reference material, so that is for the notes, for downloading the notes, or for getting some information from the internet, all the things can be performed by using the computers. So next, physicians uses computers to understand the human body. So to understand even human body, these physicians are going to use this computers. So this is how it is used. This is like how it is used in hospitals. So next application is computers in educations. So like schools and colleges, how they are going to use. So computers have been used in schools and colleges since 1970s. See, from that time we are going to use this computers in schools and colleges as also. So these computers, using these computers, we can learn the subject with the audio and videos. So with the videos classes, like smart classes, we can learn and understand the subject properly without any confusions. So at colleges, many colleges are using these computers to teach different numerous courses. So to teach the courses also we are going to use this computers. So next, computers in industries like CAM and CAD. So industries, production industries, they are going to use this computers by using the softwares called as CAM software and CAD software. So these CAM softwares are used for designing the computers, and CAD softwares are used for designing the products, and for manufacturing they are going to use with the CAM software. Okay. So next, computers are used to assist with the manufacturing process such as fabrication and assembling. So for fabrication and assembling also, these computers are used. So next, for computers are also used to run the robots. So automatic robot machines will be there. So that to run those robot machines also, we are going to use this computers. So next, where we are going to use it in is banks and business. So all the banks nowadays are computerized. So for performing any transactions like depositing or transferring any funds for any account, we are going to use this computers. So next, ATM transaction, online booking, everywhere you can see nowadays these computers. So even for buying and selling goods using internet, we are going to use this computers. Home shopping, e-commerce, internet banking. So have you heard, right? So internet banking, everywhere the computers are going to be used. Okay. So next is computers in offices like government offices. So there why we are going to use this to document. So to document particular transaction which has already happened, we are going to use this computers. So using special softwares for the payroll of different employers is also performed using this computers. Used to record all the events carried with the money, funds, and transaction. So in each transaction, it may be a deposit or refund or money transactions or funds transactions from the organization. Everything can be recorded using this computers. Next, used in all the transactions of government offices. So in all the government offices, they are going to use this computers. So this will make them to reduce the time, and it will be making them to increase the efficiency in the work. Okay. So next, computers in travels and communications. So nowadays, for communication purpose, this computers are very important for browsing any information, for chatting, for online gaming. So everything for these process, these things, we are going to use the computers. So for communication establishment, we have to use a satellite. So in satellite also, we are going to use the computers. In electronic mails, used in teleconferencing to communicate with the people and to discuss online projects. So like how we are going to do now online classes for you, there is no physical classes, right, for you. So therefore we are conducting online classes, right. Using this computers, we can develop n number of applications. We can develop numerous points for the applications of computers. Okay. So next one is, used computers are used in entertainment, news and media. So computers are used for creating the animations. So news can be watched live and immediate. So immediate, whatever it is going on the spot can be reached to us whenever we are not able to access those live incidents. So next, computers can create a special effects to movies. So that is, animations can be performed using the computers. So all these computers, in everywhere, in every place, we are going to use the computers nowadays. So all of you dear students, I hope you all uh, got through these points again, even though it may be a revision for you again. So all of you need to concentrate on all the important questions which we are going to discussing now. So what you have to do is, you have to write all the questions in the assignment book without fail. Okay. Thank you all.